When we simplify expressions with rational exponents, that's exponents that are fractions, we will use the same rules that we use for simplifying anything with exponents. So you may want to go back and watch one of my previous videos if you want help with those rules. Otherwise, let's go ahead and do what we've always done. Our first example has two bases that are being multiplied. Now notice they have the same base. That base will remain the same. And in fact, my rule of thumb for working with these problems is whatever starts out the same, keep it the same. So if our bases start the same, keep that base the same. In the next video, we'll take a look at what to do when the bases are different, but you will see that something's the same that stays the same in those problems as well. So my 7 stays a 7. Our rule when we're multiplying is to add the exponents together. So we are, again, working with fractions for these problems. If you're not good with adding fractions, then I don't really want to teach it right now. If you want to watch another video or ask me in class, that'd be great. Otherwise, just go ahead and use a calculator to add those fractions together. So 1/4 plus 1/2 gets us 3/4 as our exponent. So our simplified answer is going to be 7 raised to the 3/4 power. If I were to work that out, it would be irrational, and I never want to get decimals. Anytime you see the word simplify, we want to make sure we're not working with decimals. So 7 raised to the 3/4 is my simplified answer. Let's keep going across and do a few more examples. In this case, I have the same base being divided. I'd go ahead and throw a 1 exponent on that 5, so we have 2 exponents that we're looking at. That base will remain the same. The base won't change. Whatever starts out the same, keep it the same. When our same base is being divided, our exponents will subtract. So again, use a calculator if you need help with doing that subtraction. 1 minus 1/3 leaves us with 2/3. It's always top minus bottom, and then write your answer in the top of the fraction. So if that worked out to be a negative exponent, we'd have to move it down to make it a positive exponent, as we've talked about previously. Continuing along the bottom, this time I have a power raised to a power. Well, our rule in this case, whether we're working with fractions that are exponents or not, is to multiply the two exponents together. So again, if you need help with multiplying fractions, maybe watch a different video or ask me in class. Otherwise, just use a calculator at this point. 2/5 times negative 1/5 leaves us with negative 2 over 25. Now that answer is not okay because we never want to work with a negative exponent. So what I'm going to do is the same thing we've always done. Let's move that entire thing to the bottom of a fraction. The base won't change, that base will stay at 4, but your exponent will change signs to 2 over 25. Now I can't have something in the bottom of a fraction with nothing in the top, so I'll make sure I throw a 1 on top. So there's my simplified answer. Make sure when you're working with, anytime you're working with fractions, make sure you simplify. 2 over 25 can't be simplified, but let's just say you were doing a completely different problem and your exponent ended up, for example, 5 over 25. Well, we always simplify fractions whether they're exponents or not, so just be aware of something like that. It doesn't apply in this example, but just be aware that you always simplify fractions whether they're exponents or not. Alright, one last example we'll take a look at. This time we have a fraction raised to the 1/4 power. Well, since there's a single term in the parentheses, there's no plus or minus signs, I'm okay to distribute my exponent to the top and bottom of this fraction, leaving me with 3 raised to the 1/4 power over 2 raised to the 1/4 power. And that is as simplified as it can get. Some people say, well, what about subtracting exponents? Remember, to do that, your base needs to be the same. In this case, we have 2 different bases, a 3 and a 2, so there's nothing else we can do. In our next video, we'll take a look at some things that we can try when the bases are different. But for now, that's it.